Hello?
Hello, Jughead. This is Archie. Come over right away. It's a matter of life or death.
Oh, relax, Archie.
Attention, all true believers. Marvel Comics is on the air.
A friend of the unfortunate, enemy of criminals. In reality, Dan Garrett, a rookie patrolman, loved by everyone but suspected by none of being the Blue Beetle.
Boys and girls, your attention, please. Presenting a new exciting radio program featuring the thrilling adventures of an amazing and incredible personality. Faster than an airplane, more powerful than a locomotive, impervious to bullets.
Up in the sky, look!
It's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey, this is Rich Davis coming from Wonderland Comics, and and you're watching Welcome to Wonderland. I thank you for being here. Well, actually, obviously, this is not Rich Davis. This is AJ behind a Rich Davis mask. Unfortunately, Rich Davis is at the hospital, probably watching the show and probably laughing at me doing this. But we're going to talk about all kinds of new comics today, as well as some great graphic novels. We look forward to having you on our show, and this is Welcome to Wonderland. Welcome back to Welcome to Wonderland. This is AJ here covering for my buddy Rich Davis. Rich is going to be okay. It's just going to take some healing. He's having a little bit of heart issues, but he is doing much better than he was earlier. That's also kind of a little bit why we missed last week, because he's been having issues with stress, and it hit his heart bad. In fact, that mask that I had there, that Rich Davis mask, that was actually supposed to be an April Fool's joke last week. Rich was going to wear one of my normal masks, and I was going to wear that. But unfortunately, we couldn't do that. But he is on the mend, and he will hopefully be back next week. But you know what? That's fine, because we have the great Kyle with us today. So Kyle will be with us talking about the books. So
don't lie to these people, they know better.
What, the fact that you're great, or
yeah, the great Kyle, come on, they know better.
But
I'm excited about comics, man. Like, I don't often get to come on here and just be like, so I'm really excited to read this book because yada yada, so
yeah. Well, I've got a few books left from last week, so I was actually going to start with some of that because some of them are kind of nice. And so I'm going to start with that, and then who knows, maybe before we get into this week's, maybe we'll get into some graphic novels first. But I'm going to start with this. It's kind of funny because if you watched us 2 weeks ago when Absolute Martian Manhunter came out, Rich was not crazy about the book, but I was. Well, it's kind of opposite. He actually liked Absolute Green Lantern. And I'm not saying I don't like it. I'm just saying it's my least favorite of the books. It just started out weird, and I just never got hooked by it. Kyle, have you read this one yet?
I'll be honest. Of the Absolute books, it's Absolute Martian Manhunter, Absolute Wonder Woman, and then Absolute Batman for me. I have not read Absolute Green Lantern, but I'll be real honest. I'm one of those that struggles to read any Green Lantern that isn't written by some dude named Jeff Johns. So, and since he ain't doing that anymore, I struggle with Green Lantern. I will give this one a read. It is on my to read list, but I'm not anxious.
That's fair. I will say that we are selling this for $4.99. And as always, here at Welcome to Wonderland, we give you the same deal we give our subscribers in the store, and that's 25% off. So this is on sale for $375. $375 for Absolute Green Lantern, and it was okay. I didn't hate it, but for me, I agree with you. Absolute Martian Manhunter is definitely my top favorite book, and then Absolute Batman, and then Absolute Superman, then Absolute Flash, then Wonder Woman, and then finally this. But I do agree with you, Absolute Martian Manhunter. That book was so amazing.
Yeah, it was next level for Martian Manhunter. I'm excited about this one. But like I said, I'm a kind of a one note Green Lantern guy.
It was kind of a little bit different having Joe Mullins as the main Green Lantern in this. I will tell you that everybody else, well, not everybody. They didn't say anything about Kyle. I don't remember, but John Stewart is in there. Hal Jordan is in there, and they talk about Guy. Hal Jordan, Joe, and John are all sitting around a diner table, and they talk about Guy. So they are in there.
Well, that's good. All right, guys, if you want that book, just shout it out in the chat. Let us know that you want to claim that book, and we will make sure you get copies.
So the next book, this is kind of really cool. It goes all the way back to Spawn 181. But we have Black Ritual, the Book of Nyx. This is before she becomes the Queen of Hell, before she becomes She Spawn and all that stuff. And this is kind of a prequel to all that. It was a really good book. It is going to be a miniseries. It's going to be one of 7. And I really enjoyed it. And I'm not the hugest Spawn fan, but I did really enjoy this. I thought it was well done. The art was great. Everything was great with it.
Yeah, you guys will remember we had Thomas Healy, who wrote this book here on The Experience, on both Order Up and Talking Shop. And we talked about this book and how it has a lot of that black magic, the actual kind of ritualistic magic that the Spawn universe is known for is in this book. And at the same time, this picks up right from Spawn 183. So immediately following Spawn 183 is when this story happens. So you remember, we're almost, 200 issues later now. So There's a lot of time that this book and this universe can cover in the actual Spawn mythos. And Spawn isn't even in the book.
But it was a very good book, and it's retailing at $3.99, so just $3 for here at Welcome to Wonderland. If this book interests you, I have 2 copies I can sell you guys, and that's just for $3. So if that interests you, just let me know.
And remember, this is a first appearance of a new character in the Spawn universe, so not Nyx, another character. So
yeah. Okay, this next book that I've got from last week, it was really weird, but quite enjoyable. Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma, and this one's $4.99, so it'll be $3.75 for our Wonderland Welcome to Wonderland viewers, and this cover is just absolutely amazing, done by Dan Panosian.
Dan Panosian.
Yeah. And look at this beautiful cover. I mean, this is just absolutely gorgeous. So for only $3.99, you could have or I'm sorry, for $3.75, you can have this great book.
So the other thing to remember about this one, right, is that it's not Grant Morrison, but it's going to feel like Grant Morrison back when he was, that guy who would go away, do a bunch of drugs, and come back and write the greatest comic ever written. This is going to feel a lot like that. So
Yeah,
when you're
that is exactly. I couldn't put words to it, but I'm not nearly the wordsmith that author Rich Davis is. But yes, but that is exactly a good way to put it. That's a perfect way to put it, actually.
yeah, so that's how Resurrection Man kind of reads, like a Grant Morrison tribute almost.
The next one, one of my favorites, is the EC Crew Kingdom. I love these EC books. It just feels like the books that my dad collected in the 60s and 70s and I got to read in the 80s. It's just so much fun. Their covers are always so great, whether it be this or Epitaph for Abyss or whatever. But this is a great book. This is Cruel Kingdom number 4 for $4.99, so $3.75 to our viewers. I have 2 copies of this I'd be willing to give up. If anybody's interested, just yell out in the chat. You have anything to say about it, Kyle?
Well, EC Cruel Kingdom, guys, remember, is the Sword and Sorcery EC book. It's got a lot of the more high fantasy concepts, maybe a little less straight ahead horror, but still good horror.
This next book I thoroughly enjoyed. I'm enjoying so much from Mad Cave Studios right now. But this one was absolutely great. Pastime. Combining 2 of my favorite things, vampires and baseball. 2 of Richard's favorite things, too. He goes to at least one Braves game every year, I swear.
I wonder if the vampires in this game are using the torpedo bats like the Yankees. That is a
Maybe.
very inside baseball reference.
But this great book, like I said, from Mad Cave, is $4.99 retailing, so $3.75 once again.
Guys, these are good prices on these books. Most LCSs at this point don't offer pull list discounts like this, especially when books come bagged and boarded. So the fact that these guys are giving you these prices is a pretty significant deal. So if there's something you're thinking about maybe jumping on, this is a good time to do it.
Okay, so this is going to be, I think, yes, the final title we have from last week. This final title, Mr. Nope will take a pastime. Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Nope. Yes, AJ, Pastime is a number 1 issue. As is the next book I'm about to show you. I don't have enough. I didn't have enough left over to show you my favorite book from last week, which was Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell. It was an absolutely amazing book. It's basically old man Matt Murdock. It was so much fun to read. I love that book. But this was my second favorite book that I got to read last week, and it wasn't as wasn't quite what I expected it to be. I was a fashion school serial killer. This is a new book from Image. absolutely hilarious horror. I mean, it was freaky, creepy, but also extremely funny. Imagine being the only goth girl in fashion school, but also a serial killer who likes to use the skin and bone from your victims to make clothing and accessories. Uh, Really fun, really enjoyable book. Kind of creepy, and this is only $3.99. Either one of these books or both of them. So that's what they retail at. So that's only $3 for you guys. Uh, um,
AJ would like a pastime in his pile.
all right.
And Mike Asbill, yes, Book of Nyx is a 7-part mini. Then Nope would like a B cover of Fashion School Serial Killer.
All right. I got something else that might interest you. No, I have 3 of these for you guys that like to collect things. I have 3 of the 1 in 10s for Fashion School. I was a Fashion School serial killer. Uh, we're selling them in the store for $10. I will be happy to sell you guys one for $7.50. I would even be happy to combine the A cover, the B cover, and one of these for $12 total. Mr. Nope will take a 1 in 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's also a Jay Lee cover, by the way.
Yeah, that 1 in 10 is Jay Lee.
It was
the
a
1 in
fun
10
book.
is also the most Lady Gaga the covers. Like, let's be real.
That is true. I didn't even think about that. I would like to see Lady Gaga wearing the faces of people. That would be hilarious. So,
Yeah, Mike,
coming
I
up
believe
next,
that issue 1 of Black Ritual, right?
Yeah, that was.
Mike wants an issue of Black Ritual. No problem.
He's just asking. But yeah, Mike, let us know if you want one. But yes, that was a number 1.
They are all kind of Lady Gaga. AJ Price, would you like one of them? They're great. I promise you, it's a fun read. All right. That gets us through everything that I have set aside from last week. It was absolutely wild last week, as I did not even get everything all together. So I didn't even have Marvel ready for the show by the time the show was supposed to air. So it was kind of okay that Rich canceled on me. I will talk to Rich about that. I will talk to Rich about that. I don't know if he was planning on ordering all of them. I'm hoping he does. But I will do my best. I can't promise you anything because Rich does the ordering, but I will do my best, Mike.
And you did see he's taken that that Nyx number 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I am actually making a note right now. Black Magic 2 through 7. All right. Sorry about that. That took some time there. So I've grabbed a few graphic novels because we pride ourselves on all these graphic novels you can see in the background. I've grabbed a few that I felt comfortable talking about and are just exceptional books in my opinion. The first one I want to talk about is kind of oversized, so I kind of have it on top. But I absolutely love Harleen. If you haven't read Harleen, it's a great book. It really kind of like details uh, her descent into madness from her point of view as she goes from the doctor to the crazy clown. This is book is normally $29.99. I am happy to sell it for 25% off, which I don't have that number up real quick. If somebody can give me that number real quick, I could. But the 25% off this great book here. And I have 2 of these available if you'd be interested in. The next book that I have that is quite enjoyable. It kind of goes on the other end of I was a fashion school serial killer, and that is Snot Girl. It goes 180, same realm, but 180. Snot Girl is a funny comedy book about a influencer who has terrible allergies, and considering what Tennessee is like this time of the year, I can completely understand that. But this is only $9.99 for the first volume of this, and basically, like I said, she's a fashionista with terrible allergy problems, and because of that, she's having trouble holding a job. She doesn't holding a man, everything like that, and it's just a great comedy adventures. Like I said, $9.99, so that would be $7.50 for you guys tonight. I got a lot of these $9.99 books coming up. Kyle, do you have anything to say about Snot Girl?
You know, Snot Girl is one of those that it missed me when it first came out, but I know a lot of people who really like it. So it's and it's gotten a few volumes at this point. So it's definitely a good book. Image doesn't do things that long that aren't good. So if you're into kind of the weird, almost hyper indie books, this almost fits that mold.
Which I am. No wonder I liked it. One second, I do need to step away for just a second.
All right. Everybody, if you pick up something tonight, Jay already put the chat in, or the link in the chat. Make sure you fill out the link to claim it or to get the information over to Rich and AJ so they can invoice you and get books out to you. If you are interested in anything, just say the name of the book in the chat and we will pull it for you. AJ, what do we got next, man?
Okay, so the next we have selections from the Spawn universe. I have King Spawn, Volume 1. I have Scorched, Volume 1. And I have Gunslinger, Volume 1. Each one of these are all $9.99 once again. So for you guys tonight, that would be $7.50 for you guys tonight. A piece. But there's also one more thing I've got here. I have this beautiful box collection And not only does it come with all those 3 books, but it also comes with Spawn Universe Volume 1. You see, trying to get it where it doesn't glare. But Spawn Universe Volume 1. And this is $29.99. So $29.99 times 0.75 is
It's gonna be like $25, something like that.
yeah, something like that.
A little less than $25. But guys, that's a good deal on all the first volumes of the Spawn Universe stuff. They're getting harder and harder to come by because, let's be honest, Spawn is as popular now as it's ever been. So, being able to pick up Spawn is certainly important, and it's getting harder and harder. So, jump on these trades. It might be the only way you can get some of these Spawn books.
Especially considering how awesome and beautiful this box collection is. It'll look awesome on your shelf, and it'll be great, and it's a great read. And as long as we're discussing Spawn, why not do Batman?
Oh, there you go.
And Spawn. This is the original collection.
That original Batman Spawn was a great kind of way to cross over, get Spawn introduced to the mainstream characters or mainstream readers who like Batman, and at the same time, introduce Batman to people who only knew Image books. There was a time in the 90s and early 2000s where, or in the 90s and early 90s, late 90s, where people only read Image. They weren't reading any of the other 2 publishers or any of the other big publishers. So this was a chance to get everybody crossing over and really kind of understanding what the other one was doing. And this is also where the whole Spawn is just Batman light, or just Magic Batman sort of concept came from.
But there's one more thing to go with this. This is a collaboration by 2 of comic books' greatest of all time, especially during that time in the 90s. And that's Todd McFarlane and Frank Miller. And there's even some of the running done by Chuck Dixon. So, I mean, you've got some of the all-time greatest people collaborating with this. This book is $19.99, so it would be basically $15 for you guys tonight.
It is a hardcover, yeah. Which is also not the most common way you find that book. Most of the time you see it, it's just a soft cover.
This is probably my favorite graphic novel we have on the shelves. If you haven't figured it out, I do like weird stuff. I also enjoy funny stuff. And that is Curse Words, Volume 1. I mean, why not have a story about a wizard named Wizard? If you haven't read Curse Words, it's great. Basically, this guy shows up in a modern day Earth, wielding magical powers like nobody else has seen. And basically, is he a villain here to destroy the Earth? Has he come to save it? Who really knows? Sometimes you're not even sure if he even knows. Plus, the koala talks. So this is a great book, and it is also only $9.99, so $7.50 tonight.
The way I kind of describe this book to people is if you took the plot of Lucifer and replaced Satan with a wizard hell bent on destroying Earth who gets here and realizes he kind of likes it here and doesn't want to leave. That's what this book is. So Wizard is certainly a fun character and worth checking out for sure if you haven't read it. If you have read it, the individual issues are starting to go for a bunch of money. So maybe stop messing with those and get a copy of the trade. That way you can keep reading it.
And if you don't want volume 1, I think we have volume 2. We have volume 3 back there. So if you've already gotten into it and you started it but didn't get very far, we've got at least most of the set, as well as a omnibus, just a collection, a big hardcover collection of it as well. Great book. I pulled this one because, I mean, it's just so cool to go back to the classics sometimes. And I'm so excited we have this on our shelves. But basically, the Chilling Adventures in Sorcery from Archie Comics. Some of the very first original stories that include Afterlife with Archie, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, just some of the best stuff that they ever did. And this is only $19 or $20, so $19.99. So for $15, get this great book with all the classics.
Remember, that has a lot of the I'm gonna forget his name now. The covers, they're really good horror, creepy covers.
Gary Morrow?
No,
Alex Toth?
Yeah, Alex Toth, and then it'll come to me during the commercial break. But
Marvin Channing?
No, it starts with an F.
Frank Thorne?
No, it'll come to me. That's who wrote some of these books. But it'll come to me who did the covers. It doesn't matter. But guys, these have really creepy covers to go with the Chilling Adventure stories. I know it's an Archie book, but this is Archie horror. This is not take the jalopy down to the. No, it isn't Frazetta. It isn't take the jalopy down to the malt shop and get a cheeseburger with Jughead. This is legit horror from Archie. So
yeah, this stuff is not something. Most of Archie, I would read with my 7-year-old nephew. This stuff would give him nightmares for days. Like I said,
all right, AJ, it's that time, man. It's time to take a break.
Oh, I see it now. Sounds great. You guys have enjoyed
Francesco
this break.
Francavilla. Francesco
and
Francavilla.
We remember the name. And we are off to break.
Order Battle Quest comics at your local comic shop today.
What do you call the place on Spider-Man's wrists where the webs come out? His website. I hate myself for writing that joke, but you'd make me feel so much better if you just visited our website. We have links to our merch, new release lists, all the show info, and so much more. TheEXPLive.com. Did you know that Arthur, King of the Britons in Monty Python and the Holy Grail was played by a famous Graham? Check out another famous Graham by following our Instagram.
So it's unfortunate that Rich can't be with us tonight, but at least Captain Rich was able to show up. Welcome back to Welcome to Wonderland, where we are slinging comics, where Rich won't actually let me sling comics. But we got a bunch of new stuff today to show you, and let's get to it. We're going to show some of the new comics coming out this week. The first thing I'm going to show you is this awesome cover of Jedi Knights #2. This beautiful cover is done by Raza, and I've got about 4 or 5 copies of this I can easily sell you guys. And it is $3.99 cover price, so we will sell it to you guys for $3. But wait, there's more. When it comes to Star Wars, we also have this absolutely stunning Star Wars Knights #2 1 in 25 cover. Done by I'm going to probably need your help because I know I'm going to butcher this name, Kyle, but Carlo Pugalian?
Not 100% sure. Let me look. What number is this?
#2. And this is the 1 in 25. But I mean, if you are a Star Wars fan, this cover is absolutely just gorgeous. Try to get as much glare off as it can. But this is basically seems to be Yoda's story. So if you're a fan of Yoda, which is great, and this is we're selling it here in the store for $24.99. I would happily let it go for $20 if anybody's interested.
Of course, I clicked on the wrong one. Jedi Knights #2, 1 in 25. Yeah, I would say Pegulian. Carlo Pegulian. I don't recognize the name of that artist.
But it's good, that's for sure.
Cool cover.
So this is, I've got about 3 of these I can sell you. Right now, when I looked on eBay, these were going for $12.99 a piece. Whereas I'm going to be selling them in the store for $9.99. But this is the new Star Wars facsimile. I can never say that word.
Facsimile.
Yeah, facsimile. But it is the #1 Star Wars and it's a very shiny foil cover. And like I said, eBay's already got them going for for $12. So, like I said, I'm selling them in the store for $9.99. But that is just gorgeous. I can't get a good glare. Very, very shiny. And I mean that the brown coat way, as well as a regular way.
Yeah, so guys, the regular 30-cent version of this book, original printing, is like a $200 or $300 book. The 35-cent, which is actually the one I have in my collection at this point, is a $1,200 or $1,300 book. They've done several reprints at this point of this book, but they've never done one foil and they've never done one facsimile, which means this is as close as you're going to get to that original first printing without paying original first printing prices. By the way, that's Howard Chaykin cover art.
Absolutely gorgeous. So if you'd be interested in this, if you want one, just holler out in the chat and put it and fill it out in the form so we know, and we would be happy to give you one of these for only $10. And you know what? I'll even go on my 25% off on that. So $7.50 for this beautiful book. Trying to sell some stuff here.
You're good.
$7.50 for this facsimile. Hey,
there we go.
All
right, what's next?
Okay, I only have 2 copies of this, and this is the only cover that we received for this beautiful book. Or actually, I guess I might have 4 copies that I could sell you. But this Uncanny X-Men number 13, I mean, this cover is just absolutely amazing.
Is that a David Mack cover?
It is a David Mack cover. I mean, it is just so gorgeous. Especially if you're a Gambit fan like me.
Yeah. It's Uncanny X-Men. That's Gail Simone writing. David Mack cover. You got a Gambit cover. Gambit covers are always super popular.
This is for $4.99. So for $3.75, you could have this beautiful cover, this David Mack variant cover of Uncanny X-Men 13. Just for $3.75. This we started a new thing in the store where Rich and I have our books of the week, and this is actually going to be my book of the week this time, and it's kind of a surprise because it feels like it's been done so many times. But I just read this today and absolutely loved it, and that is the new Amazing Spider-Man #1. This is a beautiful wraparound cover, done by Pepe. I can't even read my own writing. Larmez.
Pepe Larraz.
Pepe. And this cover is really cool because it is a wraparound cover with almost the entire Rogues Gallery chasing down Amazing Spider-Man. And like I said, I read it, and the story was good. It was an Amazing Spider-Man story like you'd expect. But Peter's back. He's broke, having trouble with his love life, can't get a job, etc., etc. But there's a cool new villain that was hinted at coming in there. And then for some reason, Hades is in it too. I don't know.
Well, so you guys, this is the Joe Kelly run. So this is the #1 of the Joe Kelly run with art by Pepe Larraz inside. So the art on the cover is going to match the art inside.
The art inside is gorgeous.
Yeah, the art inside is going to match the art on the cover. And this has a villain that we haven't seen in over 7 years in Spider-Man. Plus, it has a first appearance of a character that has been around before, but this is the first time in Earth 616. So just know that this has a lot going for it. Joe Kelly's a hell of a writer. I know people are always kind of like, why are we getting a new number one? But trust me when I say you don't want Joe Kelly jumping into somebody else's story. You want to let him start over from the beginning. So this is them letting him do that for Spider-Man. There is a Killer Greg Land and a Killer Lee Bermejo cover, as well as a spoiler incentive or a spoiler cover that is a Black Cat cover that's just incredible. So check this one out. Really cool introduction to a character you haven't seen in a while, and a really cool new character in Earth 616 at least.
And it's only $5.99 cover price, which puts it at got my list here. $4.50 for you guys. So, I mean, get this number one book. I mean, if nothing else, it's an Amazing Spider-Man number one. And it may not go up in value, but it's not going to go down in value. You can get that for 25% off. So get it for $4.50 today. And I've got plenty of copies of this. I could probably outfit everybody who's watching the show right now. Next, so once again, weird and quirky. I'm going to try to sell these together. They are $4 a piece, so we would rather normally give you $3. I will give these away. I will give 2 copies of these away for $5, and that is this Jump Scare. I read it this week, and it is absolutely amazing. Basically, like I said, I've got 2 copies of this 1 and 2 that I can give away for $5, and it is such a good book. Basically, it's Harley Quinn meets Cthulhu. Is the best way I can describe this book. It was a lot of fun, and we're going to say anti-hero Harley Quinn and not villain Harley Quinn. But yeah.
And if you're a fan of horror movies, especially classic and obscure horror movies, this one is going to be have a lot of Easter eggs for you. So make sure, again, if you're into that kind of thing, this is a book that's worth picking up and taking a look at. The Harley Quinn analogy is good, but just think, female anti-hero with a kind of twisted sense of humor in there. So you can put a lot of female heroes from recent years in there. And then a big horror mythos that, is related to a lot of our favorite horror movies. So Ed would like to see the covers again, AJ.
And if I can jump in real quick about this, hey Lorena's going to claim that Star Wars facsimile, but Nope actually got me to read this book, and this book is great. It's a superhero horror comedy, is how I would classify it. She's got a power to where she can teleport as long as people aren't looking in the spot she teleports to. And she can pull weapons from any horror movie she's seen. And this person is a horror movie fanatic. So she's seen a lot of horror movies. I thought this book was amazing. So once again, Nope, thanks for letting me know about this one.
Thank you, Garth Wong, for claiming the Star Wars Fest-Selling. Thank you so much. This one is number 1, and this one is number 2. You just want number 2? Eddie? Like this. Bailey, do you want both books? All right. Thank you, Bailey. That was for $5. Thank you, Bailey. Okay, next. I love Laura Kitty Wolverine, but wait until you see this cover of Laura Kinney Wolverine number 5. This beautiful X-23 cover. Done by Alex Malov. This is absolutely gorgeous of her as X-23. Just absolutely beautiful coloring, shading, everything about it. This is $3.99 in the store, so $4 for you guys.
That is the Alex Maleev variant, guys. And if you know Alex Maleev, you know he draws the female form really well. I'll be honest, it's the only cover of this book this week that I think is any good. The rest of them are okay.
Which is why Richard ordered it.
Yeah. The rest of them are okay, but this one is just gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. So the next one I have coming out for you guys is Alien Paradiso number 5. With this very disturbing cover of Alien holding a naked woman up with guts spilling everywhere. This book is also $3.99, so $3 in the store. If you are a fan of Alien, this preview of Alien is really good. So for $4, we can get you number 5. I can also probably get you 1, 2, 3, and 4 too. I'm sure I have it in the store. Great book this week. Okay, we've talked about him several times today. And I have only 2 copies I can sell, but we have Spawn 363. The 4th book with Todd McFarlane back at the helm. We've got this beautiful cover of. I'm pretty sure that is the current Nyx, isn't it?
Yes, that is the Queen of Hell.
Yeah. So earlier we had the Black Magic one from last week, and now we have um, the way she currently looks in this gorgeous cover.
Right, guys. So remember, between Black Ritual, the Book of Nyx, #1 that came out last week, and this book, there's almost 200 issues of time in the Spawn universe that the Book of Nyx could and probably will cover over the time that it comes out. So just be aware that there's a lot of mythos to catch up on as it relates
Starfall, we are not very far from going to the next break. So when we do that, I will go look and see if I can find that book for you. Oh, and this is only $2.99. So for $2.25, you can get the Spawn. $2.25. I've got 2 copies I can give up. The next book, I also have 2 copies I can give up, but it's this absolutely gorgeous cover, and I forgot to look up who the artist was. But this is the new Fire and Ice miniseries from DC Comics. Basically, this picks up after the sentient island crashes near Smallville, and unfortunately, fire has ice powers, and ice has fire powers, and things are all mixed up. Heavily features Martha Kent. It was a fun read. It is the cover C by
Jeff DeCal.
Jeff DeCal. But this is a gorgeous cover. I really enjoyed the book. It was a lot of fun, especially, like I said, Martha is very heavily influenced in there. So it takes place in just outside of Smallville. Really fun book. And I think this is $5.99. Sorry, $4.99. So $3.75 for our viewers here. This book is absolutely gorgeous. Comes from a publisher I have never heard of, Critical Entertainment. This was The First Americans, The Crossing of the Bering Strait. Like I said, the art in this was just absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful book. It's $4.99, but really good book. Oh, wait a minute. I got Reacher fans here. I am not caught up, but it is definitely one of my favorite series. I will say that. Bailey, which one were you wanting? Were you wanting The First Americans, or were you wanting Fire and Ice?
Make sure you guys put kind of the name of the title of the book in the comments. That way AJ knows what we're talking about. Makes life a lot easier since I'm not rich.
Not really that far down. Okay. So I'm
How much is First Americans?
$4.99. It does, Mr. Nope. The story was just so well done, and the art. I mean, the art actually pulls on It like pulls on your heartstrings. It really does. It was that good. The regular price is $4.99, so it would be $3.75 on this show, Bailey. I'm gonna go back to some graphic novels here just for a minute. I will go back to a few more new comics, but I want to show you what we got here. Two stories, very similar things, but these are both so much fun. The first book is the Dead Irons book from Dynamite. So you have a family of 4 siblings. How much for the cutout in the background? That's a Rich question, and I don't have an answer. I wish he was here. Yes, it is Captain America. He will tell you everything's for sale. I just don't know what he's selling that for. But Dead Irons was a great book. Basically, 4 siblings, all with supernatural powers. 3 of them evil, 1 of them not, trying to hunt down the others. But werewolves, vampires, demons, and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm assuming Bailey wants to keep Rich's face on that. I mean, who wouldn't want that? So, like I said earlier, the whole thing with the Rich's face is last week. I talked to him Monday, and I was like, tomorrow's April Fool's joke, so I should come on there pretending to be you, wearing a mask that is of your face. He's like, yeah, that sounds great. So I made up 2 masks for him to pick, and then we ended up not doing the show last week. But so like I said, I put one of those faces I used earlier just to surprise you guys, and then I put that face on that cardboard cutout, and then when I left for the weekend, I put it just inside the office door. So when he would come in the morning, he would open it, and it was right there. I was hoping to scare him, but he actually liked it so much he put it out here.
Here's what I say, Bailey, when you fill out the form that's pinned at the top of YouTube for the books you ordered tonight, write a note on there to Rich asking him if he's willing to part with that. Because AJ doesn't know, and Rich isn't here tonight.
Yeah, the owner, that's actually his face on that thing there. Yeah, he's unfortunately in the hospital right now, dealing with some health issues. He's on track to make a full recovery. It's just gonna be a day or two. So he's gonna be fine, but he could not be here tonight, and I don't know what he would want for that. But let's see. Oh, but as I was going, we were talking about Dead Irons. Great book from Dynamite. It is only $19.99. So I would give this up to somebody for $15. $15 for Dead Irons. Great book. Thoroughly enjoyed it. And then we've got more werewolves. Homestead. I've got 2 copies. Mr. Nope, I'm sorry, we did not get any other covers, just the one Fire and Ice cover. We have Homestead here. Homestead was a really good book from
Dirk
I can't
Manning
remember his
and
last.
Les Lyndon Garner.
I know Les. I was like, I couldn't remember Manning's first name. But Les is actually Richard's partner in his current project, which is Angel Hunter, which the Kickstarter is going, but it doesn't actually go live until April 25th. But yes, thank you, Jay. Jay just put up the link for the pre-launch. It's going to be a great book about basically humanity versus fallen angels who are also kaiji. And it's good. And like I said, it's written by Rich, and it will be and the art is by Les, who did the same art in here.
So, guys, if you're paying attention, Dirk, who wrote this book, was on the air yesterday promoting his new Kickstarter that he's doing with New York Times bestselling author Josh Merrilman, who wrote Bird Box, and Les will be joining SketchUp on Thursday. So we'll have everybody who worked on that book on the air this week, with the exception of Rich, who is Les's other partner in comics. So just, these are people who are regularly around the EXP.
Yes, Eddie, that is exactly what I said. And we're talking about like prehistoric fallen angels, basically Nephilim. Yes, it is. It is going to be manga style, and they are releasing. I want to say, like, the whole thing is supposed to be like 8 to 10 volumes or something like that. And volume 1 is going to be done. Is going to go live on April 25th, with Les's artwork and Rich's writing, and we're very excited around here for it. But like I said, but getting back to Homestead, this was a great werewolf story. It kind of takes the Skinwalker route of werewolves more than like a regular werewolf. But it was still extremely well done, and I enjoyed it immensely. It is $19.99, so it is also only $14.99.
I think it's just manga style art. I don't even think it's black and white, Ed. I think it's just sort of that is the artistic milieu of the book.
Yeah. Actually, it is going to be black and white. Although,
because Les it said something about colors.
Well, Rich told me that they were going to do colors if they could do. They were going to release a color edition if they could reach. What is it in Kickstarter where you got the?
Oh, the colored might be a stretch goal.
Yes, that's the right word.
There you go. That might be what I'm remembering Les saying now. Yep.
However, this great book is definitely in color, and I suggest everybody pick it up and read it. Great book. Once again, only $15 here on Welcome to Wonderland. All right, so we're going to get to so another great book, once again about fantasy. Right here, God Country. If you haven't read this, make sure you have tissues close by because you are going to have an allergy attack by reading this.
Yeah, you have something in your eye for sure.
This book is so touching. Yes, it's a fantasy. Yes, it's kick-ass. But the main character has Alzheimer's. And it does hurt to read, but it's also an amazing read. I suggest everybody read it. This is only $16.99.
It's also
So
very early Donny Cates. Who you may know from having written Venom and a bunch of other stuff. Real early Donny Cates.
$16.99, so 25% of $16.99. I think that'd be about $12. I'm thinking something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I suggest anybody who likes a great story and is not afraid to have some heartstrings pulled, pick up God Country. Basically, salvation is a double-edged sword is the tagline here. So basically, he inherits this sword with all kind of magical powers that allows him to. Garfag, you'll take God Country.
You'll like it, Lorena.
It is an amazing book.
Did we talk about how the sword talks?
Oh no, I forgot about that. I forgot to mention that part. Yeah. The sword is a sentient sword. Next up, one of my favorite horror books has a continuation, and that is Hack Slash. We have Hack Slash Resurrection. Hack Slash Resurrection. She's back. If you haven't read Hack Slash, basically she's the only survivor of a slasher, and she ends up going around hunting any other kind of slasher, which I love because I'm not a fan of slasher movies. That's not the type of horror I like. I like things more psychological. But the way she goes about it is so much fun to read. And this is the continuation of that. Basically, she's always got weapons, and she usually comes with her own personal little monster. When I say little monster, 7 foot tall, 350 pounds, little monster. This is $16.99, but I am willing to sell it today for only $10. And I'm going to be honest as to why I'm cutting it that far down. And that's because it fell off our shelf. In the corner here is a little dog ear. That does not affect its reading ability. Still a great book for $10.
Vlad is such a great character in that book, and Hack Slash is crossed over with so many properties, like Ash from Ash Evil Dead. I'm totally forgetting the movie with Jeffrey Combs, Reanimator. She's crossed over with the Reanimator, Chucky. Like she's been in a book where they've killed off real comic book artists and stuff at a Comic-Con. It's a fantastic story if y'all have never checked it out.
So, this is an amazing book. It's award-winning. I love it, but I also hate it because I know too many of these people, and that would be Redneck. Redneck
You
feels
know a
like
bunch
all
of
the people I
vampires?
grew up with, except for vampires. The people I grew up with were not vampires, but I see so much just being around. Now I grew up in West Virginia, so not quite Tennessee, but still a great book done by somebody from Tennessee. But Eddie, I did not
So
see that one.
yeah,
Uh,
so Redneck Guys is a story of it's a Donny Cates story again, but this is a story of some vampires living in West Texas who have found a way to not have to feed off people until things get sideways, and they do. And it's them trying to figure out how to survive in West Texas, being vampires when their mechanism is no longer working.
but I could relate so much to just to how they acted. Okay, so what else do I got here? Oh, here's a fun one. Who likes amusement parks? Yay, I do. I love amusement parks. Uh, well, what about an amusement park that's hell themed? Uh, Dark Ride is a great book. Uh, Basically, um, it's about Dante opens up an amusement park, and that's the guy's last name. But his kids go to take it over, only to find out that it's a little bit closer to hell than what they thought. There's all kinds of fun demons and all kinds of shenanigans. Great book for only $15. Uh, so $15. So that's like $12 to you guys or something like that. So if you want a great read, uh, Dark Ride is highly entertaining. Okay, moving on. Okay, a little bit more serious. And I like this book because it's a good story. It's a serious story, but I really loved the artwork in it. I can see that, Eddie, but I really enjoyed the artwork in this. Basically, a widow is trying to get revenge, and she hooks up with a Ronin samurai to try to get revenge. Uh, and it goes along a lot like you would expect a Japanese saga to go. But great art, great writing, a lot of fun. This one is $15.99. It's like $13 or something like that.
I remember when
It
that
is.
came out. I didn't read it, but I remember it got a lot of hype. I think it was nominated for several awards when it came out. So
Mm-hmm. It's a good book. So
it was called Yui Tomi,
I
Eddie.
have what's that?
That last book was called Uitomi, Uitomi,
Yep.
or Uitomi.
Is it? Yeah, it's Uitiomi. I think. Let me confirm that. It's the name of the main female character, Uitomi.
Uitomi, right there on the cover. Uitomi. Or Uitomi.
So I'm gonna go look for that Saga 70, but we also have like a whole run of volumes of Saga up to like 11, volume 11. Saga number 1 is only $9.99. While I go look up for that Saga 70, Kyle, can you talk a little bit about volume 1 of Saga?
Well, the thing I'll tell you about Saga, guys, is that any book that gets banned from Apple when they were trying to sell graphic novels through the App Store is a book that's good with me. It is a high fantasy concept from Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan. And it is very much not for children. It is a very adult concept. But the thing about Saga, at this point, if you don't know what Saga is, it's hard to 70 issues in kind of tell the story of what Saga is. So the easier thing to do is actually just to read the solicitation for Saga. So let me pull that up real fast and I will read it to you. But needless to say, Saga follows Alana and Marco, an extraterrestrial couple who struggle to survive amid a galactic war with their newborn daughter, Hazel.
It's a
Romeo
great
and
book.
Juliet meets Star Wars with nudity. You're right, Eddie.
Yeah, it's such a great book. If you haven't started it, this is a great time to start it. You can start for only $7.50. But it is so it took me forever, like until like just a week ago, before I actually wound up sitting down and reading the first volume. Basically, I got tired of Rich griping at me to read Saga. So I did it, and I was so impressed. I was impressed by not only the story but the art. But yeah, it's almost like what would happen? You say Star Wars, but it's almost like what would have happened if Padme and Anakin stuck together as a couple instead of Anakin going all dark, and they join forces to become stronger. That's what happens in Saga.
Right. I mean, it's like Eddie said, it's Romeo and Juliet meets Star Wars meets with nudity. It's I always said West Side Story in space with sex.
I don't remember who was, but somebody was asking if we have 70.
Yep, that was Lorena.
Oh, I found it. I was waiting for a break, and we never.
Pile, she says.
But
she said
I did find that.
Yep.
What's really funny though?
The one knock I will give to Saga, guys, and it's very hard to come up with problems with Saga. The one knock I have on Saga is that in recent years it has gotten slow to release. It's to the point where I was buying every issue for a long time, and then it's gotten to the point where now I'm only buying the trades just because, like, I think we went 2 years between 2 issues at one point. Like, now they're back on a sort of regular schedule, but it took a minute. And so, like I said, that's my one knock is that Fiona and Brian got super busy and, slowed way down.
I gotta say though, that this cracked me up. And you all see why this cracked me up. If your brain is as bad as mine. This is issue 69.
Yep. It's not a super serious book all the time. It has some very interesting stories, some very fun stories. It's not all heavy, but it can get very heavy too. So it kind of spans the gambit, right?
And I'll throw my opinion in on it too. If you're on the fence with trying to read it or getting into it, just give the first trade a shot. I said earlier, I love Invincible. Took me a couple issues to really, really fall in love with Invincible. The first page of Saga, I was already like, this book is going to be awesome.
And like I've said more than once, it's only you give that first thing a shot is only $7.50. $7.50, and you can read the first book.
All right, what's next?
That's a very good question.
Other than Lorena saying, did you put issue 70 in Lorena's pile?
Yes.
All right, then we're good. What's next?
All right. So, kind of same direction. Sex Criminals Volume 1.
Hey. All right, I bet a lot of the people in the chat have heard my pitch on Sex Criminals Volume 1, guys. But
I haven't.
This book is one of my favorite books to have come out in the last decade. It gave me hope when I could predict that new ideas existed in comics when I could predict almost everything that was going to happen. So this is the story of a girl who finds out that when she arrives, quote unquote, time stops, and a guy who finds out that when he's ready to go, time resumes. So they start hooking up and doing crime. Or maybe not, depending on how you feel about, major banking corporations and other, conglomerates that take people's money. So the premise here is, again, they are a couple who could control time. And when they and that's how this book goes. It's written by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. Matt, who is coming to Batman during this year, and Chip Zdarsky, who's just been on Batman, is now heading over to write Captain America. So two of the best writers going, writing a really, really really good erogenous story. Right. If I were to say what I want to say, we would get kicked off of YouTube, everybody. Like I said, so this book came out with a series of variants that came in poly bags with pink boards in front and behind. They were very, very naughty, and I collected those. And there's one that looks like Mario and Peach on the cover after, he's rescued her and she's repaying her debts to Mario with a what are little mushroom guys called in the front. It looks like the Super Mario box. It's a wild book, guys. It is off the rails to start with.
And once again, it being an image book, it is $9.99, so $7.50 for you guys. You can't beat these prices, especially on these premier image books. I mean, there's no greater time to start something new like this.
Correct.
Toad is the name of that one particular mushroom dude.
Yeah, but that's not what it is. It's the ones that he's got to jump on. I can't think of them.
I was gonna
Anyway,
say,
it's
I don't
supposed to look
think
like a piece of the male anatomy. That's all I'm going to say.
Like broccoli, I look like a tree. Walnut, I look like a brain. Mushroom, I don't like this game.
Right?
Okay, as long as we're going down the road in that direction where we're talking about
Goomba. That's it.
things we really shouldn't. Let's talk about black hole.
No, I don't want to.
This is why you shouldn't have sex when you're young.
Oh.
Basically, this is a nice and disturbing horror book where there's some kind of virus going around this town where if teens have sex, they turn into monsters. This was one of the best graphic novels of the year, written by Time Magazine the year it came out. And this is actually, I mean, quite the thick book. And it is only $20. So only $15 for you guys. So, do you like? I mean, this is going back to. I mean, it actually takes place in the 70s. It goes back to that whole thing of let's have horror where if kids have sex, bad things happen. That's what this is all about. It's a throwback to that whole era of horror. Great book. And if you guys, like I said, anybody interested, it's only $15.
Yeah, guys. So just when you think about this book, I want you to remember that it came out like twice a year from 1998 to 2004. This book took forever to come out. It's written and drawn by Charles Burns. It really does. The synopsis really does the best justice, but it won an Eisner, a Harvey, and an Ignatz Award. We inhabit the heads of several characters. Some kids have it, some kids don't, and some who are about to get it. What unfolds is an unexpected battle to fight the plague, or bring heightened awareness to it, or even treat it. But the plague is a social disease. So,
and you think about when it started, right in the middle of the AIDS pandemic.
It kind of, the story is set in the 70s, which is a little before that, really. But again, it started coming out in 98, which, you know, was a time where we were kind of hearkening back to, like, think about popular shows from that era, you know, where we were kind of looking for that sort of 70s nostalgia. But was the trade black and white, AJ?
Yes, it is black and white.
Okay, I couldn't remember because I thought there was a color version of that too, but maybe not.
There might be, but we don't have it in the store. I'm sorry, Eddie. I wish we did. So, I think this is about all I've got for the night. But I do have one last new comic that's coming out. One that is everybody's favorite. And that is Absolute Batman #7. And I have a total of 5 different covers for it. I have the A cover for Absolute Batman #7. Not a bad looking cover. This will start a new story for the Absolute Batman, as they did finish up with now I can't think of his name. What's wild is this is what he looked like. This is one of the covers I have of this. But he had a black ball on top of his head, skull mouth. Can't remember his name though. But Batman defeated him in number 6, and so number 7 will start a new story.
That's the Miko Suyin variant.
I also have this beautiful copy.
The Bill Sienkiewicz.
And like I said, I have 5 different covers. I also have the 1 in 25.
Lorena claiming black hole. All right, Lorena, you're brave.
I also have the 1 in 50. This one is going for $30 in the store. I will sell it for $25 on here.
The 1 in 25 is by Amy Reeder.
The 1 in 50 is going for $60 in the store. I probably should sell it for... I don't want to lowball this because Richard will kill me.
$50.
I will sell it for $55 here.
There you go, $55. That is Charlie Adlard of Walking Dead fame.
I really think it's a really cool looking cover.
It is very cool. I'll be honest, I like the Bill Sienkiewicz, but I like Bill Sienkiewicz, so.
So, see, $5.99. So, $5.99 is $4.50. So 8. I will sell you a set of all 5 covers for $80. I will review those 5 covers. I could only do this one time because I only got one of the 1 in 50s. But 1 in 25, 1 in 50. Cover A. Is this the one you like or the other one?
The other one. I like that one too, but I'm a big Bill Sienkiewicz fan.
So I can do, like I said, I can do 25 for the 1 in 25s. I can do 55 for the 1 in 70, or I will sell you all 5 covers for $80. That is a great price on those.
This is also a first appearance of a certain character in Earth Alpha.
Is that what they're calling the Absolute World, Earth Alpha?
It appears to be, yes.
Interesting. I like it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Better than Earth like 37.
Should have called it the Mongooses.
I'm angry at you now, Jay.
That was kind of my big finale. I really don't have that much else to show you guys. I'd love to talk about Reacher or anything else you guys want to talk about, but I'm pretty much out of comics to show you for the night. So I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I thank all of you for our support. please, if you have not yet done it, Jay, can you shoot up Angel Hunter one more time? Please help out Rich, help out Les Gardner, and go to the Angel Hunter link and click notify me. You don't have to buy anything. We're not asking you to buy anything, but if you haven't done it, go there and click notify me. It helps Les and Rich by getting the algorithm up on Kickstarter so more people know about it, and watch out for the launch on April 25th. Like I said, I don't really have any much more to talk about. I do thank all of you for showing up tonight. I look forward to next week when hopefully Rich will be back. Please stay tuned in about 15 minutes for Kicking It with Henri. And
if you claim
just
something,
have
make
a
sure to
great
fill out
night.
the form.
What's that?
If you claim something, make sure to fill out the form.
Yes, and if you claim something, please fill out the form, and I will get you. We really need to streamline this process, and but I will get you guys an invoice as soon as I can. With Rich in the hospital right now, things might take a day or two.
AJ, hang out after the show, and I will help you figure that out.
All right.
But yeah, guys, well wishes to Rich. Everybody send good vibes Rich's way. As someone who deals with stress, I know what that's like when the stress decides to make your heart hurt. So we all want to make sure he feels better. But in the meantime, guys, fill out your form, stick around for Henri, and click alert me on Angel Hunter. All those things will help with his stress level.
Everybody have a great night. See you next week.
Join the party. Head over to our link tree to find all the links for everywhere the experience is all the time.